What's up guys, it's Roman here from Unbox Official, and today I'm bringing you a review of the 4th generation iPad, or the iPad 4. This device came out in October of 2012, and it came out after the release of the iPhone 5 and the iPad mini. So in this video I'm going to be talking about the design, the hardware, software, and the camera. So let's get started. First off, let's look at the design of the iPad 4. Overall, it does look exactly the same as all the other iPads did. So the iPad 2 and the 3 looks identical to them. So on the front you got the 9.7-inch multi-touch display, and it is a Retina display with 2048 by 1536 pixels, and the letters and everything comes out really crisp, and it looks very nice on this display. There's no pixelation, you wouldn't be able to see any pixels at all, which is great. Moving down, we have the home button, and at the top of the device you got the little 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, which shoots in 720p video. Moving on, at the back, we got the nice iPad logo, the Apple logo right over here, along with the iPad written down there. And at the top of the back, you have the 5 megapixel camera that shoots in 1080p HD video. At the bottom of the device, you got the lightning connector, which is the only difference between this and the iPad 3. And you also got the speakers. Moving on, at the top of the device, you got the headphone jack and the lock button. And on the right side of the device, you have the volume rockers along with the on and off silent to loud mode. And that is actually pretty much it for the hardware. The design. And moving on, it does have an ambient light sensor, so if you're in the dark, it will give you a darker screen, a dimmer screen, so you don't waste that much battery. Vice versa, if you're in the light, it will give you a brighter screen so you can see better. The iPad 4 weighs 662 grams or 23 ounces, which is decently light for a tablet of this size. If you look at the Galaxy Tab, it is a lot heavier than this. This is really thin too, so if you hold it, it feels like you're holding like a really thin chapter book or something. Moving on, let's look at the hardware. So this does come with a A6X chipset, and that is one of the differences between this and the iPad 3. The A6X has quad-core graphics along with a dual-core 1.4 GHz processor, and this is very, very fast. For a dual-core processor, it is very fast for a iPad. You won't find any lag whatsoever on this device. It looks great, and you wouldn't find any pixelation, no lag. Even if you go to the search menu, usually there's a bunch of lag here, but with the A6X chip, it's just smooth all the way around. Moving on, it does come with 1 GB of RAM, and this is a 16 GB model. Also comes in 32 and 64 GB variants. Let's move on to the software. So it is running iOS 6, and this is a very, very bad, I don't really like the operating system that Apple made. It has no widgets, it's very boring, it's like for really old people. Very simple, like 2-year-olds could use this. It has no widgets other than the tap to tweet widget, which is pointless, and I barely use it whatsoever. Overall, but the operating system is really fast compared to BlackBerry or Android. It does have no lag time, as I said before, so if you open up an app, it loads very, very quickly. And this is a very rich app, so it would take some decent time to load. Overall, the colors look great on this device, as you can see. It loaded up very, very quickly. Let's move it up, and the colors on this device are very rich, very vivid, and you don't find any pixelation whatsoever, so that's a really good plus. Let's open up another app. First, let's delete all the cache. So move that down. Wow, I have a lot of stuff opened. And bam, let's open up Plants vs Zombies, as I know that is takes up a lot of RAM. So let's open it up. As you can see, it typically loads fairly slow, maybe a minute to load the full thing, but on this iPad it loads very, very quickly. As you can see the little grass rolling, it's already done, and it brings you already into the game, so it is great. I mean, the speed on this device is very super fast. Let's look at Safari browser test now. So let's open up Safari. First, let's clear all the cache. Let's open up Safari. Let's load up a very rich site. So I would say, let's go ESPN. As you can see, the iPad loaded it very, very quickly. I mean, that was less than a second, and the full page is already loaded. So as you can see, the Retina display, it is very vivid. You can't see any pixelation whatsoever. And this site does have a bunch of video and pictures on the front page. So, I mean, that took like barely any time to load it up. Let's open up another site. So let's exit that one. Open up the Globe and Mail. I know that's a really popular site also. So as you can see, loads up super quickly. You can pretty much see everything on the, like, you don't have to zoom in. It's very, very vivid. The Retina display lets you read it really quickly. So moving on, this does have an improved Siri feature. So Siri, if you don't know, is a personal assistant, and it helps you, I mean, set reminders, find you places to eat and stuff like that. So you can pretty much ask it anything. Let's ask it the score of yesterday's Celtics game. So let's move it up. What was the score of the Celtics game yesterday?
Boston was defeated by Golden State yesterday. The final score was 101-83.
As you can see, it gives us a really nice little widget and shows us the score, shows us by quarter. And let's ask you something else. It can also show you locations. It can show you places to eat, places to go. I mean, it's really useful. I use it a lot. So, where's the nearest Best Buy?
I found 15 places matching Best Buy. 13 of them are fairly close to you.
As you can see, it loads up a bunch of different Best Buys near me, which is great. You can also ask it the weather. What's the weather like outside?
Some bad weather coming up through Friday. Down to -11 degrees and snowing.
As you can see, it tells you everything, which is super great. That's one of my favorite features on the iPad, and I use it a lot. And as I said, overall, the iOS on this isn't the greatest, but it's super fast. I mean, comparing to Android or Windows Phone, the Apple iOS is super, super fast. There's no lag time, as I said before, and it loads up everything super quick. The videos on this look great. And anyways, let's move on to the camera mode. So this does come with a 5 megapixel rear camera, and it does shoot in 1080p video. So I wouldn't recommend shooting it for professional videos, but overall, if you're just like at the beach and you want to shoot a video, I think that'd be great. It also has 5 megapixel camera. As I said before, it shoots great 5 megapixel photos. It does come with autofocus, touch to focus, face detection, and geotagging. And moving on, it does come with 1080p HD video recording at 30 frames per second. And at the front, you got the 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, and it shoots in 720p HD video. Alright, so I'm using the rear camera and recording 1080p right now. Currently in the basement, and it's not really low lights. Lots of bright lights at the top, so this is what it would look like if you were to be recording in a nice lit area. The colors do come out quite nicely on using the camera. I mean, the greens are really nice. That's the Xbox home screen. Let's turn off the lights right now, and I'll show you what it looks like in the dark. So as you can see, it does get a little bit more grainy. Well, this is an iPad, so all of the iPad cameras aren't that great, but overall it's a decent camera for an iPad. I mean, you're not really paying for the camera, you're paying for the iPad experience. So, yeah. So that's been the review of the 4th generation iPad, and if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys later.